Zero shot is when you give an LLM like ChatGPT a single command or question, no examples, no step-by-step instructions. This technique is incredibly fast and direct since the prompts are usually short and simple to write. But if you're not careful with how you write your prompt, you might make your zero-shot prompt into something else and potentially confusing the AI. By the end of this video, you'll know what exactly makes a zero-shot prompt a zero-shot prompt, under what conditions it works best, and most importantly, when not to use it. Let's first look at some examples and call out what specifically makes a prompt a zero-shot prompt. Imagine you're introducing ChatGPT or LLMs to a colleague and you're trying to explain how it can create human-like responses. Rather than you trying to explain it, why not just show him or her a live demo of ChatGPT? You open ChatGPT and write, explain how ChatGPT can understand tone so well to someone new to LLMs. With just this simple instruction, ChatGPT delivers a clear, beginner-friendly explanation of how it understands language. This response was enabled by a zero-shot prompt, where ChatGPT is asked to perform a task without any examples or detailed instructions. Keep in mind, providing context like target audience, tone, or general focus still falls under zero-shot prompting, for as long as the task remains simple and lacks any examples or any step-by-step instructions. On a different note, zero-shot prompting also works for subjective tasks. Say you are looking to increase your productivity and you want to try something a little more sophisticated than the old pen and paper. Let's try, what's a good productivity app for managing tasks? With this single open-ended question, ChatGPT immediately offers recommendations like Todoist and Trello, highlighting their features and why they're effective for task management. Notice that the prompt did not include any preferences such as whether you're managing personal or work tasks, or even which was the desired platform. The AI uses its general understanding to infer a response that's helpful for most users. This shows how zero-shot prompting isn't just about facts or explanations. It's versatile enough to provide suggestions even for topics with multiple correct answers. Now, this level of simplicity and directness has its uses, but there are certain times when you should avoid this technique. Has it ever happened to you that you spend all this time crafting a prompt, you read through the lengthy response, and only to realize it's something completely different than what you wanted? When that happens to me, I just feel like closing the chat window. But it doesn't have to be that way. Let's look at a few scenarios where you should avoid zero-shot prompting so that you can hopefully not waste your time and avoid frustration. Zero-shot prompting struggles when the desired outcome is highly specific and cannot be accurately inferred from a general command. For example, when I asked ChatGPT to generate a sales pitch for my new eco-friendly water bottle that is both sustainable and affordable, ChatGPT provides a generic response that is salesy enough, but not compelling in any way. And that's because without any specific guidelines or examples of previous successful pitches, the AI simply cannot know what a great sales pitch looks like according to my needs. Another common downfall for zero shot is when a task involves multiple steps or requires layered reasoning. For example, I can ask ChatGPT to develop a comprehensive marketing strategy for launching my newest eco-friendly water bottle. This task inherently involves several components like market research, target audience identification, competitive analysis, channel selection, etc., etc. A zero-shot prompt may generate a response that includes some of these, but is unlikely to contain all the components and steps I had envisioned or am used to. Should I have included these details or examples in the prompt, that would make this not a zero-shot prompt anymore, and I would have been better off using a different prompting technique. Lastly, when the desired output must follow an intended format or structure, zero-shot prompting will likely fall short because it doesn't know enough of how the response should be delivered. For example, create a legal contract for freelance graphic design services. ChatGPT gets to work and produces a seemingly viable contract. It includes things like services provided, compensation, timeline, revisions, and so on, all essential components of a services contract. But this is of course just a generic example and not something that conforms to how I would do business, or maybe even to the state legal standards of where I do business. Now, in the hands of a legal professional who has the knowledge on what a compliant contract should look like, he or she can take this output and continue to refine with specific asks and also by providing examples of past contracts. Then again, that would not make this a zero-shot prompt. So, when does zero-shot prompting work best? Zero-shot prompting shines in situations where speed, simplicity, and inspiration are critical. Let's look into these 3 points. Number 1, speed. When you're exploring broad or general topics such as learning about a new concept or getting quick recommendations. Think, what are the benefits of intermittent fasting? Or recommend a beginner-friendly productivity app. Number 2, simplicity. When you have straightforward tasks that are clear and single-step output, such as, what is the least liked Thanksgiving side dish? Or converting units, how many grams in 2 cups of flour? Number 3, inspiration. When you need a creative starting point, such as brainstorming ideas or generating initial drafts. Zero-shot prompts give you quick material to work with, which you can always refine later. For example, give me 5 ideas for the title of this YouTube video. By now you know that zero-shot prompting is great for fast answers. But what about those times when speed isn't enough? What if you need more precision or more depth or more control over the response? In the next video, we'll dive into few-shot prompting, a technique that takes your results to the next level by showing the AI how it's done.